Welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast, your number one opinion source for all things entertainment. Join host Marco Mila as he sounds off on the latest movies, TV, music, gaming, comic books, and more. Now, here's the man of the hour, Marco Mila.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Entertainment Rants Podcast. I am your host, Marco Mila, and I'm joined, as always, by our co-host, Mila. Say hello.
Hello.
So today we are talking about, again, our bonus episode. That would be our What If, episode 6, What If Killmonger saves Tony Stark and he never becomes Iron Man.
Yeah.
So let's give our overall take on it. Remember, there's going to be spoilers in the episode, so if you haven't seen episode 6, go watch it and then come back and listen to the rest of the podcast.
Yes.
So, Mila, give me your overall take on it without too many details.
All right. So I thought it was a fun action thing. It was cool, but it was neat. I'm just kind of tired of them killing Iron Man every single episode or every other episode, really.
Yeah, I agree. So once again, we kill off Iron Man. We kill off. Well, let's put that right. We kill off Tony Stark. He doesn't actually become Iron Man in this one. So right from the jump. So the episode. I enjoyed the episode overall. I mean, I actually enjoyed the episode very much.
It was good.
I liked it better than the zombie episode, but we know my take on zombies.
Yes,
if you listen to the
you're
last
not a fan of
podcast.
zombies.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the zombies. So if you listen to the last episode, you know that very well. However, I will say a lot of action in this one. A quick story. Remember, these are quick, half-hour, 33-minute runtime. They stuff a lot of it in there to tell an entire story in a very quick, we've taken how many years to watch all these movies. Yeah. The original Iron Man movie is 2 hours long.
Right.
This is 30 minutes. You get an entire retell of the story, essentially.
Including tweaking some, how some characters would realistically think.
Right, exactly. So let's cover the episodes. So it starts off just like the original Iron Man movie, right? They're in the Humvees. They're in Afghanistan. They're
start off of the whole
the whole Marvel universe, right? We're going to, go test the Jericho missiles and basically sell them.
Peace sign.
The peace sign, right?
No gang signs.
Peace sign. But again, we are hit. The Humvees are hit by the bombs. There's shrapnel, everything like that. Right. However, this time Tony does not get kidnapped by the 10 rings. He does not end up in the cave. He does not build the first Iron Man suit. This time, Killmonger
no
wanders
mini
up.
arc reactors.
Killmonger wanders out of nowhere and saves him. Takes off the 10 rings and basically takes Tony to safety.
Yeah.
So we see that they get back to America. We're having the press conference again, just like we did before. But instead of him, saying what he's doing, and not doing arms anymore, he finds out that Obadiah Stane is the cause of what happened.
Right.
Killmonger has this information already, and he tells him. So then he immediately fires Obadiah Stane, and then immediately makes Killmonger his new COO.
And
that's where it kind of got a little tricky for me.
Yeah.
We were talking about this before, if Tony Stark was very protective of his quote-unquote family and who gets to be in with him. He doesn't even like things handed to him. Yet, however, all of a sudden, this guy he just met, yes, I get that he saved his life, but you don't know this guy from a hole in the wall.
Yeah, he has no idea who this guy is.
Right, I mean,
he stepped in, saved him, knew he was in military, and was like, oh, you know what? He's the guy.
He's the guy.
All
of a sudden, he's my guy. This is my guy. I'm going to make him, head of my company. And he's in control of so much. So that was a little weird for me.
That was really weird.
I get it. That needed to push the story forward. Yeah. Whereas Killmonger now has access to Tony's arsenal. He helps Tony helps him build his MIT project. Right, which I thought was funny. That looked like a giant Gundam. But if you know,
it did. It really did. So they even made that joke.
But there's a backstory to that. I don't know if you know that, but Michael B. Jordan is a huge anime fan.
Is he really?
He is. So they kind of put that in there for him. So it was a Gundam suit basically.
Wow.
He's a huge anime fan.
Oh my
so
gosh,
they
that's
stuck
so
that.
funny.
Yeah, it was a little sort of Easter
idea.
egg in there. He really likes the anime. So if you know anything about him, that's why they put that in particular.
Wow.
And didn't just make it look like, let's say, one of the suits they had in Iron Man 2, right?
Yeah, because they could have easily just done that.
Could have been absolutely.
But
anything.
still, they made the Gundam.
Yeah, which I thought was pretty cool, and they made
like
you said, they made the references to it. So I thought that was pretty fun.
Yeah.
So he creates these new mech suits, basically these new armored robots, basically, and autonomous things, just like they do in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, with the autonomous Iron Man suits that can do whatever he wants them to.
The twist on this one is he never builds the miniature arc reactor. In fact, that was funny. They kind of mentioned it. He's like, well, we need another power source, and well, let's just make a miniature arc reactor. He's like, no, that's stupid. That's a stupid idea. Which obviously is the whole point of Iron Man.
Yeah. It's that was actually really funny the way he just brushed off that idea. He's like, no, that's stupid. Moving on.
Moving on. So we moved on to the fact that Killmonger has the ring, which we saw in Black Panther, the ring from his father, which is made out of vibranium.
Yep.
So he wants to use vibranium as the power source essentially for these robots.
Mm-hmm.
So we still go, as you saw in Age of Ultron, we go and meet Ulysses Claw, still played by Andy Serkis. So Michael B. Jordan plays the character.
Although he
Andy
has
Serkis.
one arm more than he did before.
No, because in the original Age of Ultron, he loses it there.
Yeah.
Ultron, I think it's Ultron.
It was the Ultron.
Ultron takes off his arm. That's why when you see him later in Black Panther, he has the one arm.
Oh, so he already had his...
He had his real arm in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
In Avengers, but when you get to Black Panther, which was later,
that's
why you saw him with the one arm, because he had lost it during Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Which is what happened. He has one in the comics. Anyway, so you see, still played by Andy Serkis, and we meet up with him. We're basically gonna get his vibranium, like you saw in Age of Ultron. He's got the ship. He's in the same place.
He's got the little bottles of vibranium going.
He's got all the jars of vibranium.
All the bells and whistles.
So now it starts to get a little tricky, because now Michael B. Jordan's kind of Killmonger showing his plan, right? He's trying to get the vibranium. Black Panther shows up, kills him.
Right.
Right. And at this point, then Tony sees what's happening because Jarvis, the AI, sees everything, knows everything,
so
records
he's like,
everything.
You thought you could get away with it.
And then he kills Tony.
Yep.
He used the Dora Milaje spear made out of vibranium and spares Tony. Tony's gone again. So he's like, you can't do this. It's law. And he's like, I just want vengeance. So his still motivation from Black Panther is still there.
Yeah.
He's still trying to get to Wakanda.
Yeah, he still wants
to
revenge
take over,
on
exactly,
Wakanda.
for his father being killed, and he still wants that. So that's all intact in this universe.
Yeah.
So he does. He takes Ulysses
and
Claw.
Tony's part of the plan.
Tony's gone. Black Panther's gone. He's just killing people left, right, and center.
Yeah.
And that's his name, right? Killmonger. That's his little that's all the scars all over his body.
German?
Every kill.
No.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's German for douchebag. So we get to Wakanda. He's holding Ulysses Claw, just like in the movie. Yep. Drops him because he's the guy who stole all the vibranium from them. So he gets his way in. They
kills T'Challa too.
T'Challa
comes in to save the day, but
they don't know it was him that killed him. Obviously, he covered his tracks. They don't know it was him.
Right.
He gets into Wakanda. He shows his lip, shows that he is a Wakandan. He is, of the royal blood. He's a brother.
Yep.
He gets again. People just not knowing this guy for 5 minutes, like, all right, why don't you take the blue flower, purple flower?
Yeah, again. Like,
you're the new,
we still have no idea who you are, even though, yes, you are of blood.
Yep.
And yes, you're saying all these flowery words, but
yep.
who are you?
Right.
He's grown up.
Yeah.
He's not just a kid. He's a grown-up guy.
Yep.
Who they don't know at all.
Right.
They don't know what he's been through, what his plans are.
They have no clue who this guy is.
Yeah.
Yet another one's giving him the keys to the castle. So now he's the new Black Panther all of a sudden. Again, within 30 minutes.
Yeah.
He's the new Black Panther.
It's not even a day had passed, and they're like, all right, how fast can we make him Black Panther?
Dead set against it. Which I thought was great. Like, she's smart. She is a genius. Yep. She is high-level IQ, like Tony Stark, like Steve Richards.
We like
Reed Richards. So she's a high-level intellect. So she gets it. She understands this
She's
guy's
like,
no
this
good.
guy just walked in here and we're making him Black Panther.
Shows us his lip,
me?
and now he's the Black Panther. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. So she ends up going to Pepper at the end to be like, we need to deal with this. But that's sort of the ending of the thing. So anyway, so Killmonger, he's there saying the army is coming to take care of Wakanda. They're coming for us. Yeah. I'm Wakanda. Like, army's coming. They have these new droids, basically.
He had that planned out.
He planned the whole thing. Was they were upset that T'Challa, that they went what happened to Tony Stark. Mm. They're thinking that the Black Panther killed Tony. Right, so they're figuring this all out, right?
Yeah.
So they're avenging Tony essentially, and so they're coming for Wakanda, and they're at the bubble, they're at the dome, they're at the bubble, the shield. Yeah. And they open it up, saying this is better if we take them in and take them out because it's going to cut off their signal to the army. Our shield will cut off the signal to these robots, so they'll be
and
useless.
Guess whose plan that was?
Right, he had the button. Turns them back on, even though he gets out there and fights them. So once again,
oh no, Tony turned them back on with his backup generator. Gosh, that guy.
So once again, he's playing his plan. He's playing everybody, and he's out there on the armored rhino, which I still think is really cool.
I don't know. That's so cool.
It's so funny.
That's so cool.
The artwork again was just phenomenal.
Oh
right?
my god, yeah.
The queen's out there. She's out
with
there
them
with the
fighting with spears and crushing robots and on rhinos and fire everywhere. It was gorgeous. It was a gorgeous fight.
To me, this is one of the best action episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like the Agent Carter action, but this was like a large scale action, right?
A bunch of people fighting things.
I thought that was really cool, and it definitely harkened back very well to the to Black Panther and the large scale fighting that they had in that movie as well. So I definitely enjoyed that.
A little tidbit I want to put in. I love in every episode there's like a motif of like a throwback of the part of the soundtrack that was part of the movie.
Yep.
Like with like some of the Black Panther episodes, like this one and the one where T'Challa's Star-Lord.
Yeah,
that was really cool. How they would have the like a throwback of the Black Panther soundtrack every once in a while. Mm-hmm. Like I'd see that with other stuff too. Yep. It's just cool when they do that every once in a while.
No, I agree.
Just wanted to throw that in there.
No, I agree 100%. I like it's definitely well done tying it to the actual movies.
Yeah,
I think they do that exceptionally well. So it keeps you involved. It keeps you engaged.
Yeah.
But it's still a different story.
And it's a stylish way they put it in there. They don't just like. They're like, all right, it's a Black Panther episode. We're just gonna fill it with Black Panther music.
Right.
They don't do that.
No, it's way more subtle than that.
Yeah, it's subtle and it's there. It's just really neat when they do that.
Absolutely, I agree, 100%.
Yeah.
So, all right, so we get to the point where he's now defeated the mech army.
Yeah.
Right, and now he's Black Panther. So essentially, he's taking over. I mean, it pretty much just ends, right? I mean, you even said it like that. Oh, that's the ending.
Yeah, I didn't like that ending.
Yeah, the ending was very cut.
Because usually it's like the only way I knew the episode was ending, other than the credits, was the guy in the sky started talking. He was like, "Ooh, sometimes things go away the way they
Watcher.
sometimes do." You know, the dude, the guy in the sky.
Yes, we'll call him the Watcher.
The guy in the sky, a.k.a. the Watcher.
Yes, the Watcher is what his name is, in case you're wondering.
Yes. But like, it was like, okay. It's not even like, so this might happen in the future. It's like, so these two met up, and they're like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if we took down Killmonger? And they go, yeah, that would be cool. Roll credits. And you're like, yo, wait a minute, hold on. And they're showing the pretty artwork, and you're like, well, hold on a minute.
But they all kind of end that way to a certain degree. There is no ending to them.
They do.
It's all cliffhangers to work to the last episode.
They do, but you know what I mean, right?
No, I
like
get what
all the
you mean.
episodes, they felt like an ending. Like, yes, it was abrupt, but you knew the episode was at the end.
I agree.
This one was like, oh my gosh.
You don't.
You
don't always know. I mean, I think the zombie episode, you definitely
that was
know, like,
pretty,
they're screwed.
pretty
they're
on the
becoming
nose.
Zombies. That's fine. But like, Captain Carter, we don't exactly know. We kind of see, you know what I mean? It just ends up and then comes out like, hey, what's going on? You assume it's going to pick up kind of where Avengers picked up.
Yeah.
Right? Where that picks up. But you don't on some of the other ones. They just kind of like, all right, and we're going to go do this, and that's it. You're done.
Yeah.
Because I think they're all building to that final episode.
Yeah.
So they're not telling you the full, like, there isn't a lot of aftermath what happens, right? It's a short 1.5 hour episode building to the last one. We're getting there, right? Is there 2 more? I think there's 8
I think
total.
there's 2 more, yeah.
So I'm definitely excited about that. Looking forward to basically the Ultron one, which is what we're getting to.
Yeah.
All right. So any other thoughts on? Oh, I know what I wanted to say. I've talked to people about. I was talking to people before you actually watched the episode today, and a lot of people are sort of one and done. They watch one episode and then they just give up on it.
Really?
Yeah, I talked to like 2 people in fact today who said the same. 2 different people at different times said the same thing. Like
they watched an episode.
I watched an episode and I'm done. I'm okay with it. I just didn't. They didn't like it. They're just not happy with it. I think what's a lot of people are struggling with is, it is so different. In fact, that's one of the people we're saying that a friend of his was saying the same thing.
Yeah.
That it's so, it's different. It's not the main story. Like, right. It's a what if.
That's kind of the
You gotta kind of read back the title. It's what if this happens.
Have you checked the description?
Right. So, and
the Watcher guy says at the beginning of every single episode,
this is something different. This is something unique.
Hi, this is literally a show about this isn't in this universe. And guess what? None of them are in the same universe.
Right.
Haha.
Yeah, they're all different
Get
universes.
used to it. And then someone watches it and goes, but it's not in the same universe as it is. And it's like, yes,
right. It's not
because
supposed to be the
that's
same universe.
the point.
The whole point is that you can tell stories that don't happen in the main or the prime timeline, basically the sacred
Yeah,
timeline as they called it in Logan.
sacred time.
It's all stories that can happen in other universes, so you don't mess up your sacred timeline. You don't mess up the main timeline at all.
And if you don't like the other timelines, then stay in the sacred timeline.
Yeah, absolutely.
You don't have to go into the dip your toes in the other timelines.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a wonderful way to do it. They can show you things that can't happen, or you don't want to mess it up.
Right.
You could take something simple. People always ask the age-old question: who's stronger, Thor or Hulk?
Yeah.
Right? You can do that in a
Yeah.
what if. You can do it in a what if Uncle Ben didn't die? What happens to Peter? Like all these things that you don't want to do to screws up your main timeline.
There's a million different things you
right.
could
And
There's
that's
more
the
than a
beauty of
million
it.
things you could do.
Yeah, so it kind of bothered me that like people are actually giving up on it that fast.
Yeah.
When each show is unique in its own way.
Mm-hmm.
The style, and I like the stylized the way that it's animated.
No,
I
think
all that.
I'm gonna say this. I've said this so many times. I think the animation is so gorgeous.
It's very strong.
It's so good.
It is. I mean, they've done it's Disney,
it's phenomenal.
Coupled with Marvel, coupled with Genius. I mean, it's just
it
there.
literally looks like a comic book that's like moving, but it's also kind of 3D. Like the CGI works so well.
But
the way they draw
does,
it.
right? Obviously, it's definitely computer animated, but it
and
doesn't look.
That can be so iffy. Working with CGI can be so iffy.
Yes, it can
but
even
they
look incredibly
really
fake,
pulled it off.
But they did well.
Yeah,
where
they,
it is,
like,
because comic books are
one of the
2D, right? Comic books are
exceptions-
flat.
Yeah.
And it looks like a comic book, but it moves, like you said.
Yep, exactly.
It's got depth in a flat format.
Yeah, and it even sometimes has like when someone's moving fast, it sometimes has that like the speed marks when you're like moving.
Yeah, very comic book like. So it almost like those Kirby dots as they call them.
Without the like bang pow though.
Right.
That was the first episode.
Which was done on purpose, right? Because it was like that time period was very much into doing that. Like they don't do that as much anymore, but it was very like, campy in that respect.
Yeah.
It was meant to be. So I think this episode, again, the lighting, the artwork, the sound engineering is just off the charts for an animation show. And, obviously they have all the money to back it up and put towards it. I get that, but I just, I don't know. I find it incredibly interesting to watch.
Yeah.
That's why I love watching it multiple times. Even if it's a half-hour episode and some people don't want to watch it once, I'll watch it multiple times. The story's good. And I'll even go back and watch the zombie episode. Yes, that's right. I said
Really?
it.
Oh, my gosh. You heard it here first, folks.
I will go
He's
back and
actually going to go back and watch the zombie episode.
and I hate zombies, but it is gorgeous. It is a gorgeous episode, and it's fun.
I love
other than the Futurama talking head in a jar.
Other than that,
Other than that, it was really well done.
And the imagery is gorgeous.
And
like sometimes they have like stunning shots of like a lot of it is, as it should be with the characters talking, but sometimes they take a second to like zoom out and have this like scenery set. With like sometimes a lot of the times they have it with like the Watcher in the sky, but like sometimes they don't. Like they just appreciate the imagery. Like even like every episode has like at least a moment like that.
Some sort of far wide shot.
Yeah.
There's like just this beautiful landscape shot.
Like with this one you get to see Killmonger, like he's standing on a cliff and you just get to see like the sunset of Wakanda just for a second. Like
it's almost anime like. It's almost, into an anime like or Studio Ghibli type shot. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like that kind of gorgeous, beautiful
it's like this
imagery.
beautiful scene. Like I know they had one in the zombie episode.
Oh,
like,
that zombie.
They were
episode.
in they were in the train and they just zoom out for a second to just appreciate the diminished cities.
Yes.
It's like this.
Have you looked at the artwork, at the concept art? If you ever get a chance, go and look at the concept art for the show.
Oh, I have
to.
to.
Gorgeous. I mean, it's pretty much exactly what they did.
Yeah.
On the show, but only you get like a hand painted, artwork or whatever.
It's
it is
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
It
Look at
really
the
is
concept art for these
gorgeous.
shows. They're incredible. I love looking at those. Like,
Yeah.
I would just make that like a background on my computer.
Honestly,
or something like that.
at
It's
this
really
point,
cool.
like they're like every episode can have one of those. You can screenshot any episode and have like it as a poster.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So let's talk about some of the characters in this episode. We're
let's.
gonna start with Killmonger. He's not one of my favorite characters.
I honestly
in
like
general,
him
but
more in this episode than I did in the movie.
really, talk
Yeah.
to me because I actually liked him less. But
Really?
not because of what he did. I like Michael B. Jordan. I thought he was great in Creed.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
I
yeah,
like
he
some of
was
the other stuff
phenomenal
he's
in Creed,
done.
yeah.
Not Fantastic Four because that whole movie was trash.
Mm.
But it just seemed like he's very flat to me. He doesn't have a
You
lot
know
of
what?
range of emotion.
Yeah.
Even when he gets angry and he's mad at something, he's still very and not in a controlled, reserved Navy SEAL way.
Yeah, in like a reckless way.
Yeah,
kinda,
but his acting seems kind of flat to me. It's very one tone. You know,
I think I just like them more because I honestly don't remember Black Panther that much.
You're gonna have to go back and watch that. That's
because I
kind of
it was one of the movies that I only saw once, and it was a while ago.
Yeah,
when it came out
obviously
in
before
and I was like, well, that was good. And then
before Black Panther 2 comes out, you have to go back and rewatch that.
Yeah,
you know,
but like, I liked it. I don't know. I liked his acting, but like, I mean, the thing is, Killmonger in general. I was like,
not a fan favorite for me. And a lot of people love him. I'm just not a big fan of the character itself. Never have been, comic wise, obviously.
Because there's honestly not much that stands out about him.
No, definitely not.
You're like, oh yeah, this villain I've definitely seen before.
Yeah, I understand the motivation, but it definitely seems like one we've seen before a lot.
And not done in any sort of like significant way.
Yeah, it just is.
You're
it doesn't
like,
pop for me.
Okay, yep, it's Killmonger. You're like, oh my gosh, he has
it just doesn't pop for
drive.
me. There's no. I don't have a drive
there's
to
no
watch
conflict.
him. There's none.
There's no conflict.
I have no drive to watch him do what he's doing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Even as a villain, right? Like villains, you can want to see. Villains sometimes are cooler than the heroes,
right?
Because they can be more dynamic. They can be more
even
layered
Thanos.
and textual.
Like he wasn't just like some purple guy flying across the universe trying to collect the stones.
Yeah.
He was like why? Like you were interested in why he was doing it, and you're like sometimes you're like, he kind of has a point.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. you can almost side with the guy who's trying to commit genocide across the universe.
But that's horrible, and you're like,
yeah. I mean, how amazing is that character when you definitely, at some point, identify with the guy who's trying to commit genocide across the universe.
The best kind is when you can
but it happens.
You can see it, or even like a villain that you love to hate.
Yeah.
Where like you hate them so much.
So take
even that draws more of an
emotion.
One of my favorite
shows, which we'll go over at some point, is Breaking Bad. One of my favorite shows of all time. Beginning to end, love the entire series.
Right.
And also one of the best endings of any show I've ever seen. We'll have an entire Breaking Bad episode. We'll get there. However, there's basically two villains, essentially, right?
Right.
Like Walter White is a villain, essentially, but he has motivations for what he's doing. But you almost want him to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's what he's trying to do. But eventually you realize he's just doing it for the money and the power, and he likes it, and he goes crazy. But he's so good at it, and he's so layered, you still almost want him to win.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're almost sad that this guy who's a nutbag dies in the end. Spoilers. You know what I'm saying? And then, of course, you have Giancarlo Esposito's character, right? You have Gus Fring.
Yeah.
One of the best on-screen villains.
Oh, my God.
He's right up there with Darth Vader.
He's phenomenal.
He's layered. He's textured. He's incredible. And, again, somebody else, like, you don't necessarily want him to win, but you're really interested to see what he's doing and how he's doing it. Like, how he's going to go about doing what he does and the power and where he came from. Killmonger, I couldn't care less.
Oh my gosh,
I couldn't care less where he's going, where he came from, why he's doing what he's doing. Not because it's not important, right? His father got killed. He's avenging his father. I get that. But they don't write the character, and he doesn't act in a way that makes me care.
Yeah.
And I want to care.
I want to care so badly, but like Killmonger's just not ever going to be interesting. Maybe they will, but like he's just not.
Yeah, absolutely.
They literally had a second shot to make him interesting.
Yes,
and they still didn't make him interesting.
Here, Tony Stark, kind of the same thing without Iron Man. It's like, okay, well, he was in there. It's all right. That's pretty cool. He's crazy Tony. He never really kind of calms down to be Iron Man. It kind of grows up, if you will. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, all right, this is like, I actually have a calling now. I have a purpose now to be Iron Man and do what I do. So that that changed up for him. So you can't really.
Yeah.
But the other ones, because again, it's only 33 minutes. There's so much they can do.
Yeah.
Happy kind of got shoved to the side.
Unfortunately,
and he makes note of it
Love
too.
Happy.
But is staying in there for 5 minutes, and most of these people are the actual actors from the movies, reprising their roles for the show,
which is cool.
But not Robert Downey Jr. obviously, and not Pepper Potts either. It was not her either. So, but I believe, but it was Jon Favreau. It was
Michael B. Jordan.
It was Michael B. Jordan. It was. And Obadiah Stane, same. It was him as well. Yeah. I looked it up beforehand. So, you like them. I just didn't. I mean,
it's funny because Killmonger was like the focal point of the episode, and you were still like looking at everybody else but him.
But that's the strength of the show, I feel. Can't care less about the character, but I still enjoy the hell out of the episode.
Yeah.
Right? Like, that's how incredible the story was.
Right.
I don't really care about him, but I care about this episode, and I really liked it, and I will watch it again. I thought that was fun. So I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
You don't care, but you still want to watch it. So, anything else about the episode you want to talk about? Anything else you want to mention? I know we missed some Easter. There's definitely some other Easter eggs in there that I can't, off the top of my head, remember.
I'm sure there are.
There's definitely a few, not just the anime thing. Yeah. But there you go. So that's it.
Yeah.
I guess that's it, right? That's our bonus episode for episode 6 for Disney's and Marvel's What If.
Yeah.
I want you to go out there and enjoy that episode. Go back and watch the other ones if you haven't seen it.
Definitely.
Look for this Tuesday. We're going to be talking about wrestling. I have a special guest on Tuesday's episode all about the world of professional wrestling, WWE and WCW and all that different stuff. So if you like wrestling, definitely check out Tuesday's show.
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
We go over that big time on the episode. That's right. So look for that. And again, next week, obviously, we'll have the next What If bonus episode for Marvel. So definitely check it out. Thank everybody for listening. If you have any questions or you want to be on the show, we'd love to hear from you. If you want to rant about something you're passionate about, definitely hit us up through our website. It's entertainmentrants.com. Our email is engage@entertainmentrants.com. You can obviously find us through all of our social media channels. We're at Entertainment Rants, and on Twitter, we're Entertain Rants. All right, and we'd love to hear from you. So if you have time, 30 seconds, 90 seconds, we'd love to hear a review of the show. Let other people know if this is a worthwhile content to listen to. We'd really appreciate that. So that's it, Mila. We're taking off. Want to say goodbye to everybody?
Goodbye, everybody.
everybody.
Have a wonderful weekend or day or whenever you're listening to this.
And go out there and continue to keep ranting, everybody.
Bye-bye.